So I'm Emil. I'm one of the co-founders of Glowfish Interactive, together with Breck.
Yes, so I'm Brecht. I'm one of the co-founders of Glowfish Interactive as well. What if a game like Crash Bandicoot was a twin-stick shooter, right? So that was kind of our initial idea that we kind of worked around, right? That we kind of tested ourselves against. So trying to capture that same atmosphere from classic 90s 2000s platformer like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, but also the Mario games, Donkey Kong, all those kind of games which were really colorful, trying to capture that vibe but in a very different genre and type of game.
That's the nice thing that we always hear from people is like they always say, oh, it reminds me of this game or that game, and it kind of depends on which platformers they used to play growing up, right? And there's a bit of reference and inspirations from a lot of them, and that's what I like about it as well, is that it can be sort of coming home for everyone if you used to play any of those old games, and you don't have to have played them all to appreciate it. The original idea with the combat and the twin stick shooter aspect of it was more of, okay, what if we have this like sandbox pool of tools that the player can use and they can sort of pick and match what they want. So we started out with just making cool abilities, and then over time it developed into being more of a twin stick shooter thing, because most of the abilities that we were making that we were like, oh, these are really cool, just worked well as, oh, it's twin stick shooter combat. I don't think we necessarily set out from the start of with the idea of, okay, we're gonna make a twin stick shooter. It was more about making cool things and things that are fun to play with, and then see how it all clicks together.
If you look at that type of games like twin stick shooters, you usually have those really like shoot 'em ups, right, where lots of enemies, lots of bullets, like just mayhem on the screen, right? And then you have the other extreme, which is more RPG like, which is very heavy on like the player progression and unlocking everything and collecting all the things and exploring. We kind of in between, because we provide aspects of those things, but because we combine it with that nostalgia for the platformers, it's a little bit more approachable, a little bit more easy to get into without going like all the hardcore extreme shooting or extreme RPG, right? It's kind of like finding a balance so that it's easy to pick up and play.
Well, we hope that everyone basically finds something that they like, right? And they are free to experiment with the tools that we provide, because what we always hate in game is that in a game that you have to choose your class at the start, right? You don't really know what's happening or what's going on yet, how everything works. I already have to make that decision, and that's something we wanted to avoid. We wanted to gradually, as the player learns the game and they figure out what they like and how they want to play, that they can just change around what they use. And we're quite liberal in that aspect as well, is that by the end of the game you unlock a healthy amount of abilities, more than you actually need for a loadout, much more than you need for a loadout. So you don't get that sense of, oh, I made the wrong decisions at the start, so now I'm stuck and either have to go back to the beginning and start over, or I'm just done, or I have to deal with it. And that was very important for us in general, that players felt agency and they could experiment and would never feel stuck with the choices they made before.